I love that intro. All right, everybody, welcome to episode number 52 of Skeptalk Live. Joining me tonight, your host Udo, is Jason and Sweaty. How you guys doing?
It's your boy.
Pretty good, man.
Fabulous.
That was the best timing that anyone has ever had with the applause. I would like to say, that was fantastic. Twisty, thank you very much for that. Uncivil, I'd like to thank you for the 100-bit donation before the show started. That's highly appreciated, and you didn't get to see us dance, so here's a little bit of that beforehand, right? There's no music going on, but there's some dance. T-Berry, welcome to the show. I'd like to also thank Twisty Top Hatter, Based on Air, Uncivil, everybody who was talking before the show. Thanks for showing up. We got a pretty good show going on today. Both of these guys here are taking a break from their busy school schedule in order to be on the show tonight.
Very true.
Yeah, thank you guys very much. I'm hoping that Rez and Shiri, welcome to the show. I'm hoping that the show can prove to be a worthy break from all of that research you guys have been doing. So, but let's get into what I've got for you guys today, and go straight into the show. I love that intro. It's the perfect. Welcome, Jeremy and Bader, to the show. Once again, as always, this is a fair use talk show, and everything we're talking about here is news about the world, and you can't own that news. So, everything we're doing
fuck
here,
yourself.
Exactly. Commentary is the most important thing here. We're giving our opinion on certain species of news and examples, and a lot of criticism, parody, that type of stuff. So. If you'd like to help the show out and you don't want to spend any of that hard-earned cash, feel free to click that link, and that will format a Twitter tweet for you telling everybody what you are doing right now, giving everybody a link to our show so that they can watch the best show on Twitch as well. Another announcement.
Tweet it.
Excellent. Another announcement for the show today. We have a new show coming on Friday. This Friday.
Oh, shit.
Yep. Skeptalk Late, episode number 1, will be making its first appearance on Friday at 5 p.m. PST. And joining us on that show will be the one, the only, straight out of the nation, Uncivil TV. I'll be doing an interview of Uncivil. It'll be kind of like a late night TV show. Yeah, I'm super excited about this. Working on getting together a second guest for the show. So I've got a couple of lines out there. I'm gonna go hit up a couple of other streamer friends of mine, and we may be able to put together a real good show that day. So make sure
that's the shit, dude. I'm watching that for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
I can't wait to get drunk and watch like Skeptalk.
Right, exactly.
Like, that's amazing. Two of my friends. That's great.
Yeah, super excited. Hit up Uncivil today. He graciously accepted my invitation. So
badass.
Yeah. All right. So now I'm ready to see your guys' opinions on the weird shit I've found over the last weekend. You excited, Sweaty?
Yeah, sorry, my roommate walked in. I was talking to him for a sec.
It's all good. The next time I click
ready.
this button, there's going to be some real shit going down. All right. I titled this.
This setup looks so good, man.
I like it.
I know I'd say that every week, but yeah.
It's getting better and better, man. I'm adding all sorts of new stuff. It's gonna be good. So the name of this show, this story is "I'm Sure They Will Get It Back," and that is facetious. So Indiana State Police are now asking anyone who found loose money on I-70 Wednesday to return it. A chaotic scene unfolded around 9 a.m. on westbound I-70 near Holt Road when the back security door on a Brinks truck flew open.
How? How?
I approve this message.
Right. So, Uncivil with the subscription. Thank you very much, Uncivil. Damn, son. Funding the Illuminati.
Funding the Illuminati.
Exactly. That's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Bob.
Oh, there we go. Another 100 biddies. Fucking love that song
All
so
the
much.
love.
All right. So,
fake news.
bags of money were falling out of the back of the truck onto the interstate, says Corporal Brock McCoo. Sort of something out of a movie scene where you have bills, loose bills, flying all over the interstate, vehicles stopping, people getting out of their cars. The troopers at the scene initially said up to $600,000 flew out over the interstate.
That's amazing.
So somebody got fired. Not
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you're wondering where your tax money's going, there you go.
That's the least of their worries. They funded terrorism.
Computer America says they should do the right thing and squirrel it under their mattresses, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to the show, Computer America. They said it was pretty chaotic. They said taking money from the scene is technically considered theft, but the police say if you return any of the money, it will all be done in good conscience. If you turn it back in, there's amnesty and no real questions will be asked if you're willing to give it back. I don't think that's gonna work, right? Like,
Flawless.
Yeah, flawless thinking right there.
There's gonna be a couple of people who are just like they've got like $20 in their pocket and they're just terrified, right? Like they're like, the police are gonna get me. They're gonna go turn in that $20, right? It's gonna happen a couple of times. But there's also a dude with a fat sack of the Scrooge McDuck dollars, right? Like over his shoulder. He's never giving that back.
Fuck no.
He's gonna bury it in his backyard.
Nope.
Base,
Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. Based on there.
Yeah, Base says I bet most of them kept the cash. Yeah, they're gonna get back $200-$300, and then $600,000 is just going.
Yeah.
It's a stimulus package to the people of I-70. All right.
I like that.
Are you ready for the worst image we've ever had on this show?
Yes.
Man, is it Donald Trump naked waving a Confederate flag?
It's pretty close.
If it's not, I'm going to be disappointed.
I know, right? That's actually might be one of the better images.
Can you guess what this is, Jason?
Oh my god, no!
No. Come on.
Amazing.
No.
It is within the realm of possibilities.
A dozen and a half, that's 18
Damn.
House Republicans, have nominated President Donald Trump for the 2019 Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh no.
So it's more real than you think. That's 18 nominations.
Yeah, and it's all based off the Korea thing, right?
Right, in recognition for his efforts in the Korean Peninsula.
Yeah.
The 18 Republicans penned together a letter to the Norwegian Nobel Committee saying that Mr. Trump should receive the 2019 Nobel Peace Prize in recognition of his work for denuclearizing the Korean Peninsula and bringing peace to the region. The letter, dated Wednesday, was spearheaded by Indiana Representative Luke Messer. So that's a guy you guys should pay attention to when voting comes.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So, my opinion on this is okay, do you see, there has been good that came out of this entire situation. At the same time, and I'm not trying to bash on Trump or anything. I'm just saying, like, nothing's really happened yet, right? They sat down, they talked. That's fucking amazing. That's
Right.
great. But, like, they're not actually denuclearized yet. And we shouldn't treat the situation like America actually ended the Korean War, because we actually have formally not done that yet.
I think that if you like look at the real situation, regardless of your opinion of the president, regardless of your opinion on any of this, you should pay attention that there are two people who did more work in this, and one of them's Kim Jong-un. Right? Like,
yeah,
you're right. Yeah, 100%.
I'm not saying Kim Jong-un should get this either, but I mean, I'm saying that there's another guy who has had to deal with both of these other people. The South Korean prime minister, or I think it's a president. Is the president?
It's
Right.
I think that I wouldn't even have an issue.
President
if,
Moon
like,
Jae-in.
Yeah, if peace does come, if all three of them shared it or something, you know what I mean? I'd be okay with that, right? Like, because and I'm not trying to take anything away from any one party, but it's not like the U.S. and Donald Trump's administration hasn't helped this situation, in which they absolutely have at this point.
Right, but I don't. And the same as with when they gave Obama the Nobel Peace Prize, I don't think enough has been done for a Nobel Peace Prize here. Right.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. And I absolutely don't think it should be one of those situations where they're like, oh, because Obama got it, Trump should. It's like, no, there was a mistake the first time. Let's run with correcting mistakes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so the political, like, oh, the Democrats did it. So anyway, sorry.
All right. We should make it.
I feel like it's.
Go ahead.
Sweaty, go ahead.
I feel like it's more of like a national pride kind of thing too. And it's more like, look at what my country did, so we're gonna award it with this. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I think it's more of a
right.
I don't know.
Right. Well, we can move on from this story because it's not really. We don't have much big data on it yet, but just the fact that it's been proposed. So
before you do leave, I want to say that I really appreciate your Photoshop job on this particular.
It's pretty great.
That's really good.
It's really good.
All right. So this story is real weird. I call it Bad Ghost Dad. That's a really, really big inside joke with me and a bunch of people who don't watch this show. But you'll get it as we go along. So if not for the criminal twist, it would have been a routine outing. On an overcast day, Stephen Houck, 46, piled his 3-year-old son, 11-month-old daughter, and a dog into the tan RV and cruised some California highways. But trailing behind, the bicycles attached to the back of the stolen RV were as many as 15 police cars, lights flashing. They would not let the large tan recreational vehicle out of their sight, but were also unable to safely bring it to a stop. Houck is a registered sex offender and presumed to be armed and, as of Wednesday, still on the loose. His children, whom he is accused of kidnapping, are now safe and were last photographed playing in a police precinct, moments away from being reunited with their mother. Here's the weird part. So when they finally got him to stop, and it's because he ran out of gas, and the big deal is that they had an auxiliary tank with 25 gallons in it, so it took forever for this thing to stop, right?
Yeah.
When they stopped, like, there's 15 police cars, right? So the RV being driven by this guy who's kidnapped his kids, and he's a bad dude, right? They pulled him over, or he finally pulled over. The police surrounded him. When they went into the camper and retrieved the children, the guy was nowhere to be found. He straight vanished.
The kid stole it.
The kid stole it.
Straight up, dude. You know what I mean? And that poor son of a bitch got blamed for it.
Right. So I'm thinking either one, this guy's dead, and he's in like the septic system of the RV, and no one's checked.
Yeah.
Right? Like he killed himself and hide it. That's what Journey just said. He's hiding in the toilet tank, right? So it's very possible he's still in there, right? Because this is like in impound now.
That's like concentration camps style shit.
Right.
That's crazy.
Or this dude is actually a ghost, like in the movie with Bill Cosby.
Right. That's the only two explanations.
Right. Exactly.
I'm going with number 2. I like that one a lot better.
Right, so there's a manhunt for this guy on right now. They haven't found him. The RV has been impounded, and the children have been recovered and sent back to the kids. Base says maybe the kids killed him and put him in the cupboard, right? Journey says, nah, it got impounded. Then he stole another car from the impound, like he stole his kids. This is beginning to sound like a mission from like Grand Theft Auto.
Right.
Like the most risky version of Grand Theft Auto, where you have to steal your kids, right? Like
GTA 6 confirmed.
I hope it. Right. Yeah, exactly. GTA 6 is
amazing.
Amazing.
That is like the entire plot of GTA 6. Just
right.
You're just a dad who wants to get visitation rights, so you break every law.
I feel like GTA has already fallen to the point where it's like they shouldn't push any more boundaries.
Yeah, they don't need to. They don't need to. Right? They
don't need to. There's no reason.
They skirt all sorts of like racism and terrible shit. So, all right. Yeah. So that you both of you may get this story and why I labeled it this, and I know some people in the chat will get it. So, this is called Player Unknown's Illinois.
Nice.
I already know.
Did you hear about this story, Sweaty?
A little bit.
All
like
right.
I don't know the details, but
so 2 Mattoon women are accused of attacking each other. 25-year-old Taitia Cushman and 22-year-old Brooke Belts were both charged with domestic battery. They were arrested in April 29th in the 1500 block of South 2nd Street in Mattoon. Police said Cushman hit Belts numerous times with a closed fist and then assaulted Belts with a frying pan.
Oh, shit. It's amazing.
Then Belts began to hit Cushman numerous times over the head with the lid from the frying pan, and then they were both taken to Coles County Jail. I want this picture that we've got right here as a skin for my frying pan in GT or in fucking
holy shit
PUBG, right?
That'd be amazing. So much better than the bullseye.
Right, exactly. But no, could you guys imagine that these two dropping in with parachutes, just coming at you with frying pans?
They're just running.
It'd be terrifying.
Right.
I would be scared. I'd be legitimately scared.
Right. One of them looks like they definitely didn't make it out of that with full health. So.
Yeah. Specifically, the left one got fucked up.
Right.
It's like 2 black eyes.
So these 2 pictures are the same girl. So this is 19-year-old Zoe Adams, who has been jailed recently for 11 years after a very interesting set of circumstances. So she was dressed up in clown makeup. And then while she was having intercourse with her boyfriend, when she decided to hold a pillow over her boyfriend's head and then stab him with a 10-inch blade, which she admitted to in court.
Right.
Holy shit.
So not only is she dressed as a clown, right? But she's got just exactly. Legitimate Bader says clown rape fantasy.
Oh god,
it's the worst fantasy. I can't think of anything.
Yeah, this is the worst fucking thing I've ever heard of.
Right,
or the best.
Oh, it's very
Depends
possible. She denies that claims by, he denies claims by her that he had kissed her against her will, and because that's not how it leads to her on top of you dressed as a clown. Right, like that's not the logical way that goes along.
No.
And then she planned it ahead of time because she made sure to bring the knife and duct tape into the bedroom. In total, the boyfriend suffered 5 stab wounds, 2 to his upper chest, 1 to his upper arm, and 1 to his right thigh, and 1 to his right hand. Messages and images on the phone on her phone suggested she was also fixated with male human sacrifice. So she had all sorts of evidence on her that was like, this is how you sacrifice dudes.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
This is fucking crazy, dude.
Oh,
Can't
wow.
trust no one.
Based on air mentions that maybe she was attempting, this was maybe an it fantasy.
Yeah. But Witless Wonder?
Witless Wonder says if there's penetration, I don't think it counts as foreplay. It's fucked.
Technically, it was a knife that penetrated him first, so.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
So, she told the officers that she blacked out and had no memory of the attack. Also, the boyfriend was underage.
Sure.
Okay, well, we'll just like I hope you just black out while we give you the fucking electric chair, you psycho.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Like, damn.
Exactly. Fuck
and
you.
he's underage? What the fuck?
Well, 1 year. 17
person.
and 18, right? And in that state, that may not be an issue, right? Like, that may not be.
Yeah, it's not even there.
But he's underage, so his data is kept aside, right? But so he will have to live his life with mental scars and actions for the rest of his life, and he's shown great courage throughout the investigation. He was literally attacked by Pennywise.
But let's also not ignore the fact that he was still fucking a clown.
Yeah, I was about to say he agreed to the clown thing. So.
Yeah, this part of it is his fault.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, at one point it goes past being his fault, right? So,
right. It's one thing to listen to ICP. It's another thing to enact their songs.
Right. Based on there, it says you're fired because Jeremy Bader left his caps on. Okay, so
nice.
If you guys look at this guy, and I told you that he broke a record recently, right? I'm going to give you 6 options of possibly what records he broke. And then chat, you could totally play along, guess which one of these records this guy broke. All right, so...
Definitely has to do with diddling.
Did he eat the most Big Macs? Did he spend the most time in a basement? Does he have the Pong World Record? Does he have the world's lamest hair?
No.
Does he have the largest My Little Pony collection? Or does he have the most imported anime?
Oh my god.
It is really disturbing.
It's 5 or 6. I can just see it in his soul.
I know, right? It's not.
X-Flight says 5 all day. Witless Wonder says 2, 5, or 6.
It's 5 or 6.
Right. Jeremy Bader says all of the above except 1. Twisted Top Hat. Enet says 6 plus 5 equals 11. All right. Jeremy Bader says he recently shaved off the neck beard. All right. So the answer for everybody is the world's most Big Macs.
Oh.
None of us would have guessed that.
Exactly. That's why I was like, what? I had to look into this. So this Wisconsin man has eaten over 30,000 Big Macs from McDonald's and has kept the receipts to prove it. That did not surprise me. This guy looks like a dude who saves receipts.
Look at his hair. Holy.
Yeah.
Like,
his hair is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
I know.
I love it.
It's so bad.
This dude's a legend, right?
That is amazing.
Yeah. He is a legend.
Yeah, this guy's name is Don Gorski, and he's been eating Big Macs for 46 years and has set the record for the most Big Macs consumed in the Guinness Book of World Records multiple times.
If you would have led this story with his name, I would not have been surprised. It's like
Don Gorski.
Don Gorski. Yeah, that guy ate the Big Macs.
Yeah.
Oh my god, how do you have a bowl cut that like turns into a fucking horse mane mullet thing? Like,
It
what
is
the
so good.
Right,
I
dude,
love it so much.
Is that a bullet?
This guy rocks harder than all of the 1980s combined.
He's
Dude,
like,
I tell you what, I would party with this guy all night.
Yeah.
right.
He looks like.
This guy does meth with his mom. This guy's fucking hardcore.
Base says that this guy legit loves Big Macs from an interview he read. Yeah, exactly. So he says it's just so good and like chocolate, and I couldn't get enough of it at first, but I still my favorite sandwich. When he went to go get his one of the times when he went to Guinness, they requested that he have his cholesterol checked. It was 140, which is normal.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently this guy is
Wow.
just a Big Mac fucking machine. Based on this is like an Amish metal hairband.
How many did you say he ate again?
Exactly. 30,000 over the last 46 years. That even seems just excessive, right? Like, that's extra Big Macs.
That's extra thick.
Right, exactly.
Just to put that in perspective, he spent a total of $159,000 specifically on Big Macs.
Jesus.
Right.
What up, X-Flight? What up, Angry Cicada?
Equals. Oh yeah, that's
That is
more.
amazing.
That's almost two Big Macs a day if he every day ate Big Macs.
That is amazing. This
You
guy's
can
a legend.
easily eat 2 Big Macs.
Yeah,
Maybe 3 for
Journeyman
one
just
meal.
said 1.76 Big Macs a day. Correct, right? Based on air says he's evolved to cope with the sauce, right? Fucking nasty ass
Yes.
garbage.
God, I used to love Big Macs.
I am not a Big Mac sauce guy. That shit's fucking totally not mine.
That's fair.
I had to find an appropriate picture for our next story.
Where's this go?
You know. In the case of truth being stranger than fiction, Newton police have taken a 24-year-old man to the emergency room on May 1st after he was
God damn it.
found attempting having sex with a car.
What the fuck? Another car fucker?
Yeah, exactly.
but why?
Exactly.
He just watches the Grand Tour and just like jerks off everywhere.
We were called to the 1200 block of East Broadway to a report of a naked male underneath a car, said Scott Powell of the Newton Police Department. He was attempting to stick his dinkle into the tailpipe of the vehicle. According to Powell, the suspect did not respond to officer commands, and officers had to use a taser to keep him from his business.
Wow.
Yeah, he wanted
That's
that car
dedication.
so bad they had to tase him. ComputerAmerica says lay some pipe. Based on air says another car fucker. That's a quote.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Quote that shit because it's real.
There's been many.
Yep.
There have been, yeah.
We've got
There
almost
was
as many
one guy
car
who like,
fuckers
was
as
trying
horse
to get
fuckers.
legally married.
So do you think like
Fair.
a car show is like an adult film festival for him?
Yes. And like going on a trip to the dealership, right? Like to just go bother some
Oh,
guy about a
yeah.
car. That's like going to a strip club.
Hell yeah.
That's hilarious. Can I take her for a spin?
Give him a little wink, you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Right.
Yeah, that was $20. What song would you like us to play for you?
Right. The man who will likely be charged with misdemeanors of lewd and lascivious behavior was intoxicated to the point where he was nearly incoherent. He was so impaired that we couldn't take him to jail, Powell said. He was taken to the emergency
Wow.
room as a result of his odd behavior and his .35 blood alcohol level and possible drug
Oof.
use.
Okay, well, all that makes sense.
Right.
This guy's nowhere. This guy's not a compulsive car fucker.
No. but he still did it.
He just does it when he gets loaded.
Like, what a way to like get your name, right? Like your street cred, right? The time I was arrested because I was so drunk I tried to fuck a car, right?
Right.
And if every party from here on now, he's got to have that one friend who's just to like tell him a story about how you got arrested.
Yeah. Tell how you fucked that car.
Tell that car fucking story. I love it.
Based on their asked if 0.4 is considered poisoning, I'd assume so.
I feel like 0.4 is considered dead.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that would kill me. That would kill me dead in hell.
But yeah, all right. What else do I got? Oh, another one. Here's another story. We've covered one of these before, but this one has a little bit of a twist. So before, we've covered multiple mystery poopers, cases where someone poops somewhere and then runs away and then comes back again and does it like every day, right?
I've read about this one.
This
man.
I've actually read about this one.
This one's fucked up. Kenilworth.
It's pretty good.
Right. So Kenilworth School had a problem with someone repeatedly crapping, right, in the athletic field at their school, right? So
that's such a dick move.
Right. Every day the people were having to clean up human fecal matter from the field before anybody could use it for the day. So they got fed up with it and they set up surveillance. One, I don't know how this person didn't know that they set up surveillance. Two, it's very strange that this person was the mystery pooper. And three, this is fucking hilarious, as Kenilworth School superintendent was charged with Monday with defecating in public after he was caught in the act.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's what walked up.
The superintendent of the school was going out onto the field of the school that he is the superintendent for and just dumping, taking the load off. And somehow he was unaware they set up surveillance to catch him.
Like, you worked there, you asshole.
Maybe he was thinking, well, maybe he did know, and he was thinking, well, if I don't, they'll know it was me. They'll be like, who knows? Right. Enid says, I bet that school has poor test scores.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Let's see. Enid says downtown, they pooped downtown. That happens all the time.
It does, unfortunately.
Right. Oh, I'll catch the one I've got here, but the park across the street from me, there's a serial pooper, and it's somebody who when there's public restrooms at the park, but they close it in the off seasons, and someone keeps pooping on the door when it's locked.
Asshole.
Right? They're all like, lock the door on me, huh? It's black.
This will show you.
Exactly. Maybe you'll learn to be open from now on.
Right.
All right, so the title for this episode is episode number 52, Zombie Attacks and Ghost Escape. We've already covered the Ghost Escape. Here's the zombie attack. A man has been accused of stealing a John Deere front-end loader, using it to ram trailers and vehicles in a Walmart parking lot, and then he told the police he thought it was the end of the world and zombies were chasing him in his court appearance.
That's fair.
What?
He was Walking Dead style, building himself a fortress, right? Like,
yeah, it's fucking tight.
How do you come to that conclusion?
You can be the head of the DOD.
How do you come to that? Based says LSD, Enid says meth. Those are some ways to come to that conclusion, right?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
They had to lay down spike strips on the nearby parking lot of a Nissan dealership after he fled the Walmart parking lot with the front end loader in order to catch him. He's being held on a $550,000 bond, and I'm pretty sure that's because when you wreck like 11 vehicles and a John Deere tractor, it's gonna be real expensive.
Yeah.
A grand jury will be deciding soon whether or not he will be indicted on a trial and tried on one charge of grand larceny or 2 charges of felony malicious mischief and aggravated assault. So I think he could probably just do all of those too, right? I don't think there should be an or there. Sounds like he did all of them.
Yeah. Seriously. They're like, well, we might not be able to get him for the wreck. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
I'll give it to him. If that was actually true, that's actually really smart. But
right, like if there were actually zombies, he's the guy that you want to get with. He's taking action, right? He's ready to go.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
that's not the case here.
Poor guy.
Right. Okay. Our next story. Oh, Magrez, thank you very much for the subscription with Twitch Prime. Welcome to being able to use that sweet skeptical eye. Magrez says, I remember the guy in Portland who was high as fuck and attacked a car with a sword. Yes, that is very true. That definitely was a very good thing that occurred. That was a hilarious situation. All right, so this one is called Save It for Queen Doppelpopolis. Extra points if you know what the fuck that joke's from. In Gandhingar, yeah, there we go. In a bizarre incident, police in Vandalara have found a second body of a murdered man. Can you guys, you guys following along with that?
I am, yeah. You jumped right to number 2.
Right. Well, so, I mean, Sweaty, you understand what we're saying? They found the second body of a murdered man?
Yes.
He's been found twice.
Exactly. As per reports, a businessman Suraj Shah, 45, was murdered by his lawyer. This is all matter of fact too. Like, there's no like, they're not talking about like suspected murder. Like, this is all like straight proven and stuff. So Suraj Shah was murdered by his lawyer Vijay Ravish Rahot and 2 others. Because he owed them a bunch of money from loans that he couldn't pay back. When they killed him, they threw his body into the Narmada Canal, and then tied stones to his leg. Sometime later, the police found a body floating in the canal, which the family then identified to be his, and it was sent in for an autopsy. Then it was handed over to the family. Then it was cremated. Everything was handled. And then they found his body.
Fuck. Did they, like, not do any sort of fucking...
What?
Exactly. So the family identified this guy as the guy who was killed, right? So they identified body 1.
Where's the demo records?
Right.
So the family failed. The autopsy failed.
Exactly. The autopsy...
No, I've watched enough CSI to know that they could have easily pulled semen off of something and figured out who it was.
Jeez.
There's always ample supplies of semen if I know anything about crime scene investigating.
Especially if they're in the river.
So the possibility of the second body being that of Mr. Shaw is strengthened by the fact that the 3 accused of the crime claimed that they had tied stones to the legs of the deceased before throwing him into the canal. And while the body recovered earlier did not have any stones, stones were found tied to the second body. Clothes on the body also matched the ones Mr. Shaw was seen wearing in CCTV footage of the day he vanished. The police point out that while Mr. Shaw was seen wearing a half-sleeve t-shirt in the CCTV footage, the dead body found earlier had a full-sleeve shirt. Here's the comments from the family. What can we say? There appears to be some kind of mix-up. This is his wife saying this, by the way. The first body resembled him to a great extent. The police have now launched an investigation to find out who the man who was buried or cremated and buried is. But other than that, they had another cremation and burial for the second body.
It's too late for
This
the
is
first
so
guy.
dumb.
Yeah, exactly. Enad says, "Who's this first guy? Where is this? Oh, this is in India." Moral of the story: don't wash your seats so CSI can identify your body. Yeah, that's right, Willis. There's plenty of semen. First, but Twisty says the first body was a decoy to fake his death because he's being targeted or something. Then they actually got him and murdered him anyway.
Witty twist.
I've taken I'm not a robot tests on websites that are more scientific than this fucking process is.
True,
This
that
is
is
stupid as fuck.
that is true.
Does
on
your-
stereo.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's so dumb. Does this fucking bloated remains of a body look anything like a bus?
Witless just said, I imagine they dumped the wrong guy in the river, turned around and saw the original guy and was all, fuck, right? Like,
Shit, we gotta kill Vinjay.
who the fuck did we just kill? Right?
Right? Oh, shit.
It's like, damn it.
Okay, so this story is just called Frowny Face.
Aw.
I want to give you guys one quick guess. What do you think she did, Sweaty?
Oh god, I couldn't.
She looks evil as
She
fuck,
frowned at a
dude.
police officer. She looked at a police officer wrong.
All right. What do you think? What do you think, Jason? Witless says murdered
Dude,
someone.
she murdered like an elementary school or some shit. She looks so evil.
The story
She
is
casts
sadder in a different way.
yeah.
In Denver, Colorado, a Denver woman is being accused of blowing up urine in a microwave at 7-Eleven.
I knew there was a microwave involved. That's so disgusting.
What?
Yeah, exactly. According to a police report, Angelique Sanchez placed something inside the microwave at a 7-Eleven before the clerk heard a loud bang. The clerk told police that the smell of the liquid dripping from the microwave was unquestionably urine. Then the clerk asked Sanchez to clean it up. She didn't and left. So the clerk called police. The officers found Sanchez at a health clinic waiting for a physical and a urinalysis for a job. Some people
Okay.
attempt to warm up other people's urine to try to pass drug tests, but heated urine can be detected. Whoops.
The urina bomber.
Right.
Excellent.
Margaret
Iris.
says he-
That's fucking amazing.
Journeyman says carved a frown on someone's face, ran her boyfriend off looking for another girl. Yeah, exactly. Nope, it's just urine explosions. It's a simple crime.
That's so gross.
It happens.
Look at
Yeah,
her face.
right.
She's like, yup.
So I did that.
Could you
This is
imagine?
what I'm getting famous on Reddit for.
Exactly. You're gonna be that. If you're that 7-Eleven clerk, this is the look she gave you when you said clean up the pee.
Yeah. Like, no.
Blaze Black Sheep says, I can't breathe. Oh my god.
Did she get the job? Well,
I'm assuming when the
she
police
probably qualified.
I'm assuming when the police busted her at the urinalysis place, no.
Hey, it sounds like she could probably get a job at a crime lab in India, though.
We'll just stick the corpse in a microwave. Did it explode? It was the guy.
Clearly knows chemistry.
All right, Sweaty, do you like peacocks?
Very much so.
All right, what about you, Jason? Do you like peacocks?
I mean, yeah. They're pretty, right?
Well, so for a decade, a group of feral peacocks
All the way down to.
have been...
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, apparently it's awesome. The fact that there's feral
Okay.
peacocks, I'm like,
I'll do it.
imagine getting fucking attacked in the bush. right? Like you're just walking through a park,
Amazing.
and then there's just peacocks. So a group of feral peacocks have divided a community of Sullivan Heights. Some of the residents of this suburban neighborhood outside of Vancouver love the birds, who've taken up residence in the local trees, and others say that they are kept awake by the peacock screeching. For Parminder Brar, the final straw came last year when he says his father injured himself slipping on peacock excrement on Brar's property. So he formally issued a request to take down the tree where the peacocks had built the nest, and the city turned him down. So this week, he cut the tree down himself. The move sparked a furor in Sullivan's Heights, angering his neighbors and potentially earning him a fine of up to $10,000. The majority of the neighborhood says that they love the birds, they add value to the neighborhood. The best part about this story is that the birds have taken to roosting on top of Brar's roof now.
That's fucking amazing.
That is amazing.
Since their tree has been destroyed, they randomly picked a new place to live, and it's on top of Brar's roof. There's a lot more of this story where they start yapping about how everybody feels and all this other stuff, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I read the bottom, and I was all like, that's the best. The peacocks are all, fuck you, dude.
That is
like awesome.
Poetic.
Right.
It's like a Lifetime movie.
Yeah. Right.
Grizzly, thank you for 200.
Grizzly.
He says Karma's a bitch for 200. Karma is a bitch, and her name is Peacock. True. Welcome to the stream, Grizz.
Nice.
All right, this story pissed me off. We're gonna move. we'll get all.
Fuck these people.
This lady specifically. So this former Harris County, Texas 911 operator has just been sentenced to jail after being found guilty of hanging up on thousands of citizens on a 911 line.
What?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I don't know how she was around long enough to get to thousands, but
that's what I'm saying.
Right. So she's facing 10 days in jail and 18 months of probation for her crimes. But she was busted after it was found out that she had an abnormal number of calls that lasted less than 20 seconds. Investigators discovered she was systematically hanging up on people. In one noteworthy incident, Jim Moulton called 911 to report two vehicles racing on the same highway stretching where fatalities had occurred weeks earlier. Before Moulton was able to explain his emergency, she answered and said, "Ain't nobody got time for this, for real," and she cut off the call.
Yeah,
right.
That's a really bad job by her management.
Yeah, exactly.
Like her supervisor.
How do you not notice this is happening?
That is unreal. Like
another incident that caught the attention of law enforcement was when Hua Lee called 911 while Williams was on duty. After walking into a store and hearing yelling that there was a robbery going on, Lee witnessed a suspect with a gun and recalled 5 to 6 gunshots being fired. Lee ran to his car and called 911. According to the documents, William answered Lee's first call and immediately hung up. Then, Lee called a second time, Williams answering again, and said, "Houston, 911, do you need medical, police, or fire?" He responded with, "This is a robbery." She sighed and then hung up on him a second time.
What the fuck?
As a result, the store manager, a father of 4, was expecting his first grandchild, died. So I don't think
her on the fucking
right. I don't think 10 days is enough.
Yeah, it's not.
Ice Wallow, Come 98. Welcome to the show.
Ice Wallow Come.
Yeah.
98.
Yep.
Got him.
Went pretty hard on that one. It's good to go though. We've had a few of those come through, and I see where they're going with it. It's all good.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. But anyway, she sucks. Absolutely right. Journeyman says, yeah, fuck 10 days. That's manslaughter due to neglect. Yeah, I think that she is partially responsible for that man's death.
Yeah, agreed.
That's ridiculous, dude.
Before we get into some happy news, let's talk while we're all charged up. How do you guys feel?
Yeah. I'm ready for a witch hunt.
That makes me mad. Like,
right.
Do you think she was like in on some of those? Like, she knew something was going down. She was like, you know what? I'm gonna let this slide.
Wow, she knew the killer.
I mean, that went through my head for a second, but if it's thousands of calls, it's too hard to narrow that down for sure, right?
Yeah.
Right.
True.
It's very possible that that was an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Enet, thank you very much for 201 bits.
She was the killer. Oh, Magus, love it.
Twisty, thank you very much for that applause. All right, let's see. Where was I at? Okay, so our first question of tonight, we'll go to Sweaty first. What would the name of your debut album be?
Ooh. All right, what is my genre? What is my band genre?
Oh shit, goth.
Oh man. Oh, okay. Give me a sec. All right.
You got a second? Chat, go ahead and think. Witless Wonder says 99 bridges, and I burned them all. Based on there, it says Fat Sweat.
Hell yeah.
Squabbly says Existential Overdrive.
That's a good one.
Right.
Damn.
Vader says Crawling in My Epidermis. All right, so are we all doing goth songs?
I was gonna say, like, I can think of some but they may not be appropriate.
Right.
All
right, you're now an all 90s alternative band.
Okay. 90s alternative.
Nice.
Jeez. So my debut album.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like. Oh my god! I was not prepared for this.
It's all good.
No, that's a point.
No one's ever prepared for these.
I'm definitely making mine Indian Crime Lab.
Indian Crime Lab.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah, and then we just like never show up.
It's just a fucking whole album of blank tracks.
Yeah.
We forgot to record it, right? Like.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's one called Blank Tracks that's got all the real album on it.
Oh shit! It's just like 52 minutes long.
Sure. Journeyman Bader's
track just.
I like Journeyman Bader's driving 24 and a 25. It's pretty good.
Oh
yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, how about this?
Go ahead.
Silent Remembrance.
Silent Remembrance. There we go.
Oh, that's deep.
Boom. Well, it is 90s alternative.
Exactly. I think my part-timers is acting up. Would be mine.
Nice.
Right. Because I'm not quite to all-timers. Just part-timers.
Part-timers.
Right. Based on air, forgot to press play, right? All right, Jason, you said Indian Crime Lab. So, all right, the next one. This one will go straight to. Okay, Enet says calling in fat. That's too good.
That's actually fucking amazing.
That is good. Oh my god.
That's really good.
That is amazing.
You guys don't know I'm actually just farming ideas for my debut album. All right, so Jason, if you had to choose. Because you've got to clean all three, but which one are you going to clean first? Your room, your desk, or your car? This should give us an insight into what your life's about, right?
My desk, absolutely.
Right. All right, what about you, Sweaty? Your room, your desk, or your car?
So my desk is in my room, so cleaning my room would entail me to clean my desk as well. That'd be more work. So I'd probably start with the car.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna say car too, because literally all that means is just throw everything that's not attached to the car away. So
Yeah,
I'm going with
exactly.
car. All right, we've got some desks. We got 3 desks. There's my Squabbly says my desk is clean. Oh, I see,
Yeah, mine is
Squabbly, you're so
clean.
fucking fancy. Mine is not clean.
Damn it.
I mean, I got a stack of papers and shit, but that's about it. But I do work on this like all days.
Well, okay, so like just a little bit of a look into. I've got some random shit on my desk here. Here's a fire starting kit.
Excellent, exactly what you need.
It has a what they call a bird's nest. It's got fire cloth. It's got like an actual piece of flint, like not like, you know, a flint and steel, like, you know, scientifically created.
Bullshit.
But it's also got the like knuckle steel thing that you're supposed to put in your knuckles and then fucking punch at the fucking rock to make fire.
Damn.
And it totally does, and I almost set my desk on fire playing with it at one point.
That's fucking awesome.
And it's just because I was that's just some of the shit I have on my desk because I am a weirdo. In my desk are other things, like I've got a survival shovel. This shit's amazing.
Wait, in your desk?
Yeah, check this out.
Oh, of course.
It's got a sweet ass pouch, and it is like a collapsing, folding survival shovel thing that like triples in length and has like wire cutters and a knife on it and shit. It's got everything but a USB charger. It totally should have a USB charger. I saw one the other day that had a USB charger, and I was very jealous of it.
Wait, why would you need that? Is it a flashlight too?
Yeah, it's a flashlight with a USB charger on it that was in the handle of the shovel, and I was like, "That's the coolest."
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, here's a weird side hatch question for everybody. Sweaty, can you name 5 uses of a stapler that doesn't have any staples in it?
Paperweight.
Okay, 1.
A blunt object.
Gotcha.
As in, like, if you want to hammer something down or something like that. 2.
Gotcha.
Let's see. You could use it as a eating utensil, I guess.
Yep, I think it's spaghetti for sure.
There you go. Let's see. You could use it as a murder weapon, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Wait, but that's blunt object.
I'm not going to count that, yeah. Let's see. You could take the spring or mechanics out and use that for something.
Gotcha.
And I think let's see what else. Okay, that's 4. Oh,
right.
Dude.
That's fine. I mean,
Help me out, Jason.
All right, Jason, can you name 3 more uses of a stapler without staples?
Okay, so 3 more.
Yep.
And what do we have? We have like
We have paperweight,
blunt object,
paperweight, dining utensil.
Yeah, that's clear.
And then
It's clearly heavy.
What was the last one you just said, Sweaty?
Take out the springs or mechanics or something.
Gotcha.
And use it.
Parts.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I mean, you can use it as a tool, right? Like it's
All right.
it's my handy clamp onto a desk / bottle opener / fucking doorstop.
Magris says staple storage.
That's amazing. That's actually probably the best.
There you
go. Shit.
There you go.
All right, I'm gonna add worst set of nunchucks. You could use it as the worst set of nunchucks.
There you
That would
go.
hurt.
Isn't that like a blunt object though?
Well, I mean, you're using it as a performance art, right?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh god, that'd be
We've also
awful.
got ammunition, hammer, paperweight, club, chopsticks, tongs. Tongs, that's another one.
There you go.
Magres says anything's a butt plug if you're determined enough.
Fair. That's fair.
Base says you can barter it to a meth head for an 8-ball. Bookshelf divider, string cheese cutter. You could use it as a paper organizer, just like what you would normally staple. Just put the stapler around it, then set it down. It says string cheese cutter. Yeah. All right.
Or you can use it as those like book shelf things. You know what I'm talking about? You put them on other sides of books, and they'll keep them up.
Bookends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
it could
Jason.
be like a spinner. What do you know what I mean?
The worst fidget spinner.
Yeah.
Oh, like one of those fidget things.
Yeah, fidget thing. You just like
clack, 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 clack.
There you go.
So terrible.
All right.
There you go.
So Jason, I don't know why this the text on this is all crazy here, but what would you do if you just inherited a pizzeria from your uncle?
Run it? I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
Where else are we going with this?
You gonna become a pizza man, Jason?
No, I would start a string of pizza chains named after my own.
Jason's Uncle's Pizza.
Yep, exactly. Uncle Jason.
Witless Wonder asks if it's a successful pizzeria. We're gonna make it just like a video game. If you put some hard work and sweat into it, you could totally have a successful pizza chain and earn lots of coins and not even have to buy any sort of, game currency to keep it going. But if you you could just sell it. Base says if it's profitable, hire someone to run it. If not, just sell it. Sweaty, what would you do with your uncle's pizzeria?
Honestly, I'd try to run it.
Yeah?
That sounds fun. I would do that.
It's not, but whatever. Been there, but whatever.
Journey says hard work, definitely sell that shit. Pat says make pizza great again.
There you go.
Cheers.
All right. I would probably try to run Pizza Joint at the same time as trying to run a talk show and trying to run live action role playing game business and doing everything else I try to do. So I'd probably kill me.
You're an entrepreneur, man. You're born for that shit, though.
Right. But I mean, that'd be the nail in the coffin.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. Generally, you only do one of these things.
All right, so Sweaty, if a vacuum cleaner sucks, is that good?
Yes.
That's good.
Yes, I'm gonna go with yes.
All right, Jason. If your vacuum cleaner sucks, is it good?
Yeah.
All right. This question was literally just for us all to laugh as we looked at it. So, Twisty says it has one job.
It reminds me of the raptor meme.
Oh, Velociraptors? I love those.
Velociraptor, yeah.
Journey says, Skep, stop destroying your co-host's brains. Yeah, exactly. All right, on to the Sweaty Obesity segment.
Hey, it's me. Woo!
This guy's way cooler than we'll ever be. But
Yo.
So
is that Zach from Saved by the Bell?
It's an old Nintendo Power magazine ad out of old other magazines, right? So they'd be like,
I legit remember it. Right.
It was like
I don't.
It was a very prolific ad during the late 80s. So any magazine you looked at likely had it in it.
Yeah, I love the Nintendo Power on his desk. Fucking miss that shit.
All right.
This baby's amazing.
This image is actually related. So researchers have developed an ultra-thin and flexible membrane, less than 1,000th of a millimeter thick, that can be placed onto a contact lens, enabling the wearer to essentially shoot lasers from their eyes.
Okay.
Damn.
Got it.
Yeah.
They learned nothing from X-Men. I get it.
The membrane, which was developed by scientists from the University of St. Andrews in Scotland, is made of an organic semiconducting polymer, a broad class of materials that consists of many repeated chains of molecular units that emits a very low-powered laser light when illuminated by another laser. So the membrane is capable of creating something like a barcode, as well as a defined series of laser beams in the form of sharp lines, which could have applications in identification technology, kind of like a wearable security tag.
Right, except when you close your eyes, you fucking blind yourself.
Yeah.
Well, no, so it has to shoot.
Just...
Right, it has to shoot a laser into your eye first, and then reflect it back. So, like when you like look at your phone, then it beams your eyes with a laser, and then it transforms that laser into your unique eye laser, and then eye lasers back to your phone, and your phone's like, "Yep, that's Jason," or "Yep, that's Sweaty."
This is too much.
That's pretty cool, actually. That's super badass.
I don't think so. I don't like this idea. What happens when somebody steals your fucking contacts and your eyes? You're fucked. They can get to everything.
I hate when people steal my eyes. It's the worst.
It's always just a terrible thing going on.
Right. Yeah.
In a study published by the Journal of Nature Communications, the research described the new membrane and demonstrated its laser producing capabilities by attaching it to a contact lens and placing it on the eyeball of a cow, which are often most used as an analog for a human eye. The team's results showed that it would be safe to use in humans. In ancient Greece, Plato described the visual perception is mediated by eye beams, beams actively sent out by the eyes to probe the environment. And now that is an actual statement. Once these live beams head out, right?
Yeah.
Once this gets the future of this could be things like wearable sensors for authentications or features on banknotes, right? So that you could see something on like a. Not exactly sure what they mean by the banknotes, but they say something about an authentication feature on a banknote.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
You would be able to actually, you know how like instead of how I like American money, if you guys are from America, we have that strip in our money.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what they're talking about doing and what they're actually doing in some countries is they put in actually new U.S. money should have this, I think, as of like 2 to 4 years ago. But they put a digital imprint in it now, so they don't need that strip in it. So essentially, like looking at it with your plain eye, you can't see it, but there is an actual pattern, like in the fibers of the dollar that you can see.
Interesting.
And it'll have like its own like unique code on it.
Well, yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
That's very possible. The other thing would be the possibility of being able to use the lasers themselves to store specific like ID information, so that when you go to the store, you can look into something and it'll pay for your credit card just by looking at your eyes or something like that, right? Because of the barcodes.
Yeah, no,
Right.
totally.
What if you just like accidentally like buy like 12 things then? Like you're just looking.
Yeah, I mean that's a distinct possibility. It would likely be, what you take with you out of the store or whatever.
Okay.
Right. But this story, a lot of people in this chat are definitely gonna be kind of interested in this. I know we got at least one brewer in the chat right now. A team of brewers working on a project to recreate the world's oldest beer. Discovered more than 20 years ago on board of a shipwrecked vessel off of the coast of the Preservation Islands in southern Australia, have gotten to work. The beer, appropriately named The Wreck, will go on sale for a limited time in June. The Sydney Cove left Calcutta, India in 1796 on a fledgling penal colony in Sydney before it could reach its final destination. The ship sank. It was not discovered for 200 years when a team of amateur divers stumbled across the long-lost wreck in the early 90s, and marine archaeologist Mike Nash salvaged the remains. Among the leather shoes, anchors, and cannons, the team landed upon a 31,500 liters worth of old-timey booze.
Ooh.
So
Dang.
they tightly sealed glass bottles in icy waters. They had kept the alcohol surprisingly well preserved. Today, it is still the world's oldest surviving bottled alcohol. The alcohol was analyzed at the time, revealing traces of grapes, port wine, and beer. Now, 20 years later, brewers have brought back some of this old beer, brought it back to life using the yeast found on the ship. So 200-year-old yeast.
Crazy. Now,
Yeah.
my question is, does it taste good? Because that's all I really give a shit about.
Right.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's probably garbage, right? But
Yeah.
To resurrect the 18th century beverage, the team re-examined the contents of the bottles and isolated the yeast. Analysis of the genetic makeup revealed that there was a rare hybrid strain worlds away from types used to make modern beer. Then it was taken to a laboratory and brewers began concocting drinks that would be commercially viable. The process involved a lot of trial and error. Brewer Stu Korch pointed out that taming the historic yeast was no mean feat. Particular care had to be taken to extract and grow this yeast into a brew that enhances its unique characteristics. So apparently they didn't recreate the exact drink. They just used the yeast.
Yeah, because it's probably fucking disgusting.
Yeah, they were saying it's like port wine and beer and a bunch of other nonsense in a bottle. Right?
Yeah.
The Wreck is a porter-style beer inspired by the porters, the small ales and IPAs found on the ship, and contains hints of black currant and spices.
This is, I swear to fucking God, how we're all gonna die.
Exactly. They're bringing back something from a long
old beer.
Yeah, it's gonna be like this old fucking like bacteria that just kills us all. That's been laying dormant and waiting for all it needs to do is get Big Mac, right? Just a little bit of Big Mac in it.
Right.
I think I lost everybody on that. I went too far. I'll back up. Let's get back to the show. Stop looking at me.
I'm actually looking to see if I can find out how much the beer is going to be.
Is it going to be sold in America or only Australia?
I'm thinking it's probably going to be only Australia, but Reddit exists, so we could probably get it.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Are they using the yeast Are they using the yeast that was inside the contained?
Yeah, they extracted it and then cultivated it.
Okay.
So it's not exactly the same, but it's so the yeast was taken and then now and now the yeast has been cultivated and recreated and it's grown some more or whatever. So it looks like
I love porters, so
yeah, it's a 6% with a 30 IBU.
It's kind of high.
Has a limited tap release. I want to buy it.
It's called the Wreck.
Yeah.
The Wreck.
Here's anybody who wants to take a look into it, because there were people who were saying that was pretty cool. Here's a link I found that has more information on it. Okay. So I've got a video next. And I want to thank ComputerAmerica for bringing this to my attention.
As I said earlier, our vision for our assistant is...
But I'm going to... apparently, it decided not to pay attention to the timing that I put in on it. It should be right about here. So here is the new Google Assistant doing something amazing. And I want you guys all to see this.
I love Google Assist.
Let's say you want to ask Google to make you a haircut appointment on Tuesday between 10 and noon. What happens is the Google Assistant makes the call seamlessly in the background for you.
All right, so Journey says it's a little quiet. Let me see if I can update that. So to catch everybody up, what he just said, imagine asking Google Assistant to make a haircut appointment for you between 10 and noon. So let me see if that got any louder here.
So what you're going to hear is the Google Assistant actually calling a real salon to schedule the appointment for you. Let's listen.
So how can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd.
So first off, do you notice that that sounds not like a auto voice at all?
Yeah, it sounds like a person.
Yeah, but that is Google Assistant specifically.
Yeah.
Witness is still really quiet. I got it a little bit higher, but it should be available to be heard on screen. Magret says, "Holy shit, it's a people."
It's a people.
But yeah, let's go a little bit further.
Give me 1 second.
Sure, give me 1 second. Even saying "mm-hmm" after something was.
Looking for around? At 12 p.m.
That sounded a little robotic.
The closest we have to that is a 1:15. Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.?
See, the 12 p.m. sounds a little weird.
Like, what service is she looking for? Just a woman's haircut for now? Okay, we have a 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. is fine. Okay, what's her first name? The first name is Lisa. Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd. Okay, great. Thanks. Great. Have a great day. Bye.
But Google Assistant called that and negotiated an appointment.
Yep.
Fucking cool.
That's crazy.
Right. Give you something to bring up about your AI stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Base says that they can hear it. Witless says still really quiet. Well, I mean, so Magra says Jesus that handily passes the Turing test. Somebody just thought they were talking to a person. So I think that's the deal, right?
Wow.
Blazeback says, I wonder if it'll use your own voice or if it's going to stay a woman's voice. Yeah, can you imagine that like 90% of your conversations in the future are going to be the same voice? Just all going to be these Google Assistants calling you and everybody. Curry Clam Cakes, welcome to the stream.
What's funny to me is like cell phones have already basically made most receptionist and support jobs obsolete, right? Like they've declined by like 70% in the past 20 years.
Right.
This is just going to replace probably another 15% of them. Maybe even more, right? Because a lot of the basic tasks that you hire somebody to do are menial things like this.
Right, exactly.
Set appointments for you when you're too busy, shit like that.
Yep. There's just going to be that, like, we're headed towards that eventual going to need to solve that fucking problem real fast.
Yeah.
Or there's going to be a French Revolution, right? You know? I mean, when there's a whole bunch of people starving and have no jobs, there going to need to be something to happen. Magra says, and when phone sex operators thought their jobs couldn't be automated. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
Curry asked if we covered, I have not checked into anything about a bank replacing their workers with robots. I will look into that. And that sounds like something for next episode. But once again, thanks ComputerAmerica for bringing that to my attention. Your show earlier today was pretty enjoyable. All right. Totally Not Dead. We always try to have at least one cute little animal story. So this is a creature that has not been sighted since 1986, but has resurfaced as scientists accidentally stumbled upon their hiding place last year.
They're cute.
Yep, this is this is called the kangaroo rat. Yeah.
I didn't know they were extinct.
I didn't either.
Right, hadn't been sighted since 1986. But it was listed by the Mexican government as endangered in 1994. A team of researchers from San Diego Natural History Museum were in the field conducting a routine monitoring of small mammal communities in Baja over the summer when they found 4 of the 5-inch rats. Since none of the field workers had ever actually seen a kangaroo rat before, they had to consult previous field notes and descriptions to properly identify the creature. thanks to the research team's discovery, members of the museum, local universities, and nonprofits are now working together to form a conservation plan for the species. So, yay, this little thing's not dead.
Sweet. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That
It's
is
super
cool.
cute.
Yeah. It's adorable. All right. It's everyone's favorite time. I also have still not updated this Nightbot command. I will just hopefully fix that. But yeah, so there's the bingo link if anybody's interested in playing, and boy howdy, have we got some Florida today.
Oh.
The pictures just say words, lots of words.
God, dude,
I could go ahead and cross off meth.
right?
A man and a woman who got married on Clearwater Beach Sunday got drunk, got into a fight, and then were both arrested on domestic battery charges, police report.
They were both arrested.
Yeah.
At that point, it's even, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
Yeah. Daniel Patrick Gillen and Gigi Raposta were arrested Sunday night, both from Davenport, which is in Polk County. Police were summoned to a Clearwater Beach motel in the 400 block of some place in Florida. Officers learned that Gillen and Raposta had been married on the Clearwater Beach earlier that day. Both parties became extremely intoxicated today and have been arguing throughout the day. A police officer wrote in the arrest report. Raposta and Gillen at one point grabbed her by the Raposta said that Gillen had grabbed her by the neck and pushed her to the ground, which caused scratches on her leg. Gillen, meanwhile, accused his new bride of attacking him and scratching him on the chest. He had scratch marks and injury to his torso area, which was consistent with his statements. Both were arrested on charges of domestic battery. Margaret says, does arrested count as jail? And yeah, sure.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
Margaret says domestic violence check, alcohol check, right? Curry Clamcake says, I love this, together forever. All right. Now it's time for a story about naps. Are either of you two nappers? Do you guys take naps?
Oh, yeah.
Not really, no.
I fucking love naps.
I only nap when I like physically fall down. It's like 3 weeks after not sleeping enough. And then I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna die. So I nap, right?
Yeah. Same.
At least I'll die passed out in sweet sleep, you know?
I'm a power napper, so I'll lay down for 15 minutes and have like 8 hours of energy. It's fucking amazing.
So this Bonita Springs man was upset that his wife was vacuuming in the home while he was trying to take a nap. Was later tasered by Lee County Sheriff deputies after he pointed a rifle at them.
All right.
Wow.
So it escalates really quickly.
That escalated.
Yeah. He's being charged with 2 counts of assault or aggravated assault on a police officer and resisting arrest. And he will be arraigned on May 29th. Deputies were called to the Delaware Street address for a domestic disturbance shortly after 9 p.m. on Friday. A woman in the home, identified as Provost's wife, told deputies that he was drunk and he had just returned from rehab and then attacked her. Let me fix that, squad. A Lee County Sheriff's report. Okay. Lee County Sheriff's report said that she told deputies that he had pulled the vacuum cord out of the wall and told her to stop with the noise. Well, who vacuums at 9 p.m.? Also, I'm not saying that she deserved anything that happened to her, but who does that? That's like the guy who mows his lawn at 10 p.m.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I vacuum that late if I work late or something.
Oh, I guess, probably. Journeyman says, I do, get wrecked.
Exactly.
Joke's on you, I don't vacuum.
Margaret says, who vacuums at 9? And Margaret's wife says, me. The woman told Provost that she was calling the sheriff, and then he threw a bar stool at her, hitting her and smashing it apart on the kitchen table. So yeah, like I said, she didn't deserve any of that, but
Yeah.
Right. When deputies approached Provost, he fled the home and exited through the rear with a rifle, then pointed the weapon at the officers who were armed with a taser. The deputy shot Provost with a taser, forcing the man to drop the rifle, and then arrested him. So,
Damn.
serious naps in Florida.
Seriously, that's fucking crazy.
Willis Wonder asked if bar stool is an unusual weapon. I think that bar stools have been used as weapons since bars were invented.
Yeah, that's actually how I learned to fight, was watching bar stools get broken over people.
I think that's how they trained the Spartans.
Yeah, exactly.
With bar stools.
All right. So this 50-year-old St. Petersburg woman is accused of calling 911 to get beer. And it's not the only time she's done it. An arrest affidavit...
That's so fucked.
Right.
That is amazing.
Jennifer Roberts, also known as Jennifer Sunday, called 911 on Friday and told dispatchers that she had a medical emergency. When paramedics arrived, she told them she needed beer. She called just after noon and again at just before 4 p.m. It's not the first time that she's caused trouble. Officials said she's made 28 false 911 calls since February. She's now charged with misusing the emergency system. I know somebody who was charged for that, and he did it once. He was very drunk, like very, very, very drunk, and he called the cops on the cops.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty fair.
Right.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, but he only had to have one, right, call once before they... Go ahead.
I once called it and canceled it in the same phone call. Drunk as shit.
Oh, really?
We were shooting off fireworks in an undisclosed location, and a bottle rocket like flew up in the air, and we're just watching it. We're like, oh, it's going like way farther than it ever goes, ever. And it literally crossed the Mackenzie River and stuck into a tree and landed in some sap. And like Simpsons fire, the whole branch just instantly caught on fire.
Wow.
We just saw a trail of light, and then it just starts to grow, and we're like, oh my god, we started a forest fire.
Yeah, you're all, I'm those terrible people who burned down all of the gorge. Right.
Exactly. Yeah, this is like over a decade ago, right?
Right.
So, but anyway, I'm like on the phone. They're like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm on the Mackenzie." Fuck, I don't know. I'm wasted. And it ended with the fire ended up dying while I was on the phone, and eventually, like, I was just like, can I just like cancel this? Like, what do we do here?
There were police combing those woods for you, dude. They were on their way.
Oh yeah. We stayed 2 days there camping, so it never caught on fire.
Right. So when I was 3 in California, right before we moved to Oregon, I saw a television commercial for pizza. And then I went to go order a pizza, and the only phone number I knew was 911. So I got to have a conversation with an officer. It was when I was like 3 years old.
Go?
I was 3. It didn't matter to me.
Yeah, that's pretty fair, Journeyman Bader.
Right. Canceling the police like canceling a taxi. All right.
Exactly, actually.
Hell of a drug. A Florida man was arrested on Thursday for allegedly inhaling the chemicals from a compressed computer duster.
Oh my god.
According to Largo police, they add stuff to make you not do this. Like, specifically. Jacob Thomas Fliss was sitting in his car in the Walmart parking lot when witnesses saw him huffing from what appeared to be a metal can. When the officer arrived, he saw Fliss place his lips around the can's nozzle and begin to inhale the chemicals from the compressed computer duster can. He was arrested after 4 a.m. charged with inhalation of a harmful chemical. Following his arrest, police say that Fliss stated that he went to Walmart and purchased the compressed computer duster with the intent to inhale it. Arrest records show that he was arrested for the same thing in January. But they add what's called a bitterant to this, right? Like, that thing tastes like the worst thing you could imagine putting in your mouth. And so this guy was huffing a can to get high.
Jeez.
That's crazy. What's nuts to me is like somebody actually got arrested for that.
Yeah.
Margaret
Like, I
said,
know it's illegal, but
Margaret said if he was a cyborg, he'd be using it for its intended purpose.
True. Can't argue with that.
that's pretty fucking fair.
It's pretty solid.
He's just trying to fix his pacemaker. Curry Glabcake says, "Is this how the computer duster works?" No, it's not. All right. So, what do you think old Santa Claus did here? On a scale of 1 to fucked up, how messed up do you think what he did is?
Fucked up.
Right?
Yeah.
Just look at his face. He's just
Exactly.
Like he stole presents from children or something.
A man known in his trailer park as Santa Claus. Well, first off, the man known in his trailer park as Santa Claus. Obviously, the story's going somewhere. He's been convicted of breaking into a neighbor's home and leaving her notes and strange gifts. The Bay County Sheriff's Office arrested Isidro Lee Sanchez in April of 2017 after serving a search warrant. This is an older story, but it just showed up in the feed just recently. After serving a search warrant to his trailer, where they found 90 pounds of women's underwear. So first off, women's...
What the fuck?
90 pounds.
Right.
Holy shit.
They weigh like 2 ounces each.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the
Oh my
lightest
God.
clothing in the world.
It's like an entire room filled with... Oh.
Wait, were these people's? Or
No,
were these like
they were
store-bought?
These were well, okay, hold on, let me see if I can find out. So he is being charged with breaking into her front porch and inside her home. Oh, okay. Neighbors were receiving countless notes and pieces of undergarments in this neighbor's car, on her front porch, inside her home, in her bed, each with a subtle message that a stranger was watching her and waiting for the day he could see her in the underwear that he had picked. So they were store-bought, and these were the gifts that he was like leaving all over her house.
Holy shit, this guy's
my
nuts.
Lord.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Holy shit.
Santa Claus's defense attorney, Seth Killian, argued that the prosecutors had no direct evidence that it was tied to him on the stalking charges. He conceded Sanchez was in her home, but he did not have criminal intent, which I think that this manages, right? Margaret says Google says panties weigh about 1 ounce, so 90 pounds of panties is almost 1,500 pairs of underwear. That's
Holy shit.
in a trailer.
That's
Oh.
yeah.
It's gotta take.
What the fuck?
It's gotta be forever. So much
Damn.
shit. Like he's Scrooge McDucking in underwear.
Yeah, right. He's just like rolling in it.
And based on it, it
Literally.
brings up another point that's like $10,000 in underwear.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Holy
This
shit.
guy's priorities are so fucked up that he's straight living in a trailer while rolling in women's underwear.
Yeah, he spent more money on women's underwear than he did his home.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, but you know what? Who's to judge? It's his money.
Right. Well, I mean, we can judge when he starts breaking into somebody's home and leaving it around.
Yeah, there you go.
True.
That maybe you can judge.
Very
on
true.
that.
That may be a problem.
Fuck, I imagine the chick when she realizes he has 90 pounds. So what's the shipping on that? I have Amazon Prime.
Nice.
Just kidding. Take care of your needs for a long time while he's in jail, right? All right. So, this is my favorite segment. Always has been. This is stupid shit for sale. You don't need it, but you might want it. So Jason. Dat booty dough?
Yeah, that booty dough.
Dat booty dough. With Major Curves Butt Enhancement Enlargent Capsules. So this is apparently
Finally.
a pill that will increase your butt size.
Is it just fucking what?
It's probably nonsense.
Yeah, you think?
It says it increases your buttocks by up to 31% with no weight gain or side effects, which that's impossible, right?
Yeah.
It has a money-back guarantee. It combines with Major Curves butt cream and drops for bigger and faster results. And it's only $40 for this obvious placebo, right?
Right.
Apparently, it's got palmetto berries, wild yam roots, fengu Greek extracts, fennel extracts, blessed thistle. I want to know if that is an actual thing or if it's
Blessed thistle. This is straight up, dude.
Hold on. Margaret's just said, "Oh God, I used my parents' Prime, and that shit is now in their viewing history. What have you done?"
I've actually done that before.
Apologize.
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
Don't click any of my links until after you see what they are.
Yeah, like I use my roommate's parents' Amazon Prime.
Oh wow!
And I accidentally clicked on that like 50-gallon jug of lube. So it was in my viewing history.
All right. So our next item that we've got today is the Emoji Universe Super Cool Emoji Poop Slime. Or if you look at the bottom, it's actually Super Cool Poopy Slime.
Ooh.
Why does anyone need this?
Why not? Is the question.
First off, this is for kids, right? It says it's ages 5 and up. What kind of parents are supposed to be? Why is anyone going to be giving poop slime to a kid? JMG 2014 says his brother bought a sexy Santa costume for women on his parents' Amazon account. So not the weirdest thing. That's amazing. But yeah, so who's giving their kids poop slime?
Dude, this is the fucking nastiest shit I've ever seen.
It's only $11.95, and you get a 3-pack, right? So that's,
Hell
there's a deal,
yeah.
right? Yeah. At least there's a deal going on.
It's hot. Yeah.
I mean, is it edible?
I don't know. That's important, right? What happens when
It's a
You want to find
3-pack.
out?
obviously
Let's
what
put it
happens?
together.
Right. What happens when this goes in your mouth? Like that's an important thing.
Yeah. If it's a 3-pack, that means it has to be consumable.
What is the top
Otherwise, it
review?
makes no sense. Wait, go back up. Was that a fucking rainbow poop emoji
Yeah,
pack?
it's called unicorn poop.
Yeah, that's why didn't you show that?
Because I thought the normal poop was a little bit. I mean, I can
No,
understand giving this to your kids.
Yeah, this is amazing. Holy shit! I don't even want to give that to children. Dude, give that to a person at a rave. Holy fuck!
Dude, that'd be fucking lit.
Actually, everybody would probably have that all over their bodies, and they.
Yeah,
Probably
that'd be
not.
thrown everywhere. That'd be amazing.
All right, our next item here is the when America needs to truly represent. At your next whiskey party, this is the Ben Shot Original Shot Glass with apostrophe America. It has a bullet in the side of the glass.
Yeah,
That's actually pretty
Kinda-
badass.
it's kind of cool.
That's pretty
It
badass,
is.
not gonna lie.
I think I'd rather have it without the bullet, though.
Margaret says that might be even more tacky than the Harambe shot glasses I have. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Uncivil says he wants
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I figured no one needs this. but you may all want one. So
yeah.
But yeah, here you can see that it's got the indentation in the glass. It's got the bullet on the side. There's a lot of these, but I thought the one with America on it was the best, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
And it's only $17.76 with free shipping. So yeah.
Does it have gunpowder in it still?
I agree that Wilbur needs one.
Oh,
no, it's just the casing. Or not the casing, the bullet, right? No casing.
Yeah.
That's a big ass high caliber round. If that,
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Base says it's available in different calibers. Excellent.
50 cal.
All right. Our next item are fancy pickle flavored candy canes.
Gross.
Yeah, I know, it's so gross.
Dude, they look so good.
What makes them fancy?
The word fancy, I'd assume.
It's got snowflake. Like, it makes me look. I love the lime candy canes, and this pisses me the fuck off.
Dude, you can sneak these into somebody's lime candy canes.
Fuck, I'm doing that.
That is amazing. Yes.
Oh my god, this is the best way to ruin a Christmas. This is legit the best way to ruin a Christmas.
You just hang these on the tree and let the kids pick them up.
Dude, anytime you go to like somebody's house, just have one in your pocket and just drop it in a random stocking, dude. Just a random stocking. You know what I mean?
Merry Christmas!
Like, oh, I don't remember giving that to you, but that's great. And then they try it and they hate that person forever.
Yes.
Oh man, that's so good.
This is how you tear apart families.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Mom, why are you mad at me? All right.
Fuck that. Put it in like one of the smaller children's stockings.
The worst part about this is the description here says taste to tickle your pickle.
That's not even okay. That is way more Mrs. Claus than Santa.
Right.
Sold right there.
All right, so the next item that we've got is totally not creepy. Pro tip, it is. For pheromones for men, the pheromone cologne oil to attract women. It has a bold, extra-strength human pheromone formula by Raw Chemistry. 15 milliliter concentrate, human-grade pheromones.
Yeah, this is definitely made by men in this.
Men oil. Hell
right.
Yeah.
These pheromones in the concentrate form that it is proven to attract women and appeal their sexual receptors. Bold pheromone cologne scent that is both effective in attracting women but also smells amazing. Patented blend of human pheromones. That's just an inappropriate fucking sentence to say.
It's just fucking ridiculous.
Holy crap. That is amazing.
It has an amazing, powerful scent that is youthful and empowering that will get her attention with our specifically designed pheromone cologne. Jeebus. Based on
this is like advertised at the incel Reddit, dude.
What are the reviews on this thing?
That's a good point. Let's find out. Let's take a little stop off at the questions. Is it made with real panthers? 60% of the time, it works every time.
That's exactly what I was saying. That's fucking
That is amazing. Yes.
Oh, love it.
What are the essential oils used? What does it smell like? I am not sure what oils are used, but the scent is pleasant, clean smell, not overpowering, not fruity or flowery, lightly musky, but not musk. Yep, human musk. All right, so some of the reviews. Great product with a nice scent. I really like the scent. It has a refreshing scent that's so inviting. I find myself enjoying the scent throughout the day.
Oh my god, it's for Willis Wonder, this is for gay men.
This is straight up for gay men.
I can't think of any other reason. That
all
would
these
be
dudes are like, oh, it smells so good.
that would be the phenomenal troll. You just create this thing that's you like put it on a bunch of guys who think that they're so straight that they need pheromones to attract women, and then all of a sudden it
Only
just
attracts gay men.
yeah they now smell amazing to guys.
Yes.
Fucking amazing.
So like, oh,
Yes.
you smell good, Steve, right? Like,
It's like, Steve, why you're so attractive all of a sudden?
They're just like they're like at the gym on the fucking rowing machine or something.
Margaret says
Oh,
with
the
a
guy
name
just, like,
like
comes
Men
sits next
Oil,
to him.
it's gotta smell a little bit like jizz.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man, I couldn't help noticing you.
Yeah, right. I couldn't help notice you.
You're like at the YMCA or something.
Yeah.
All right. So our last item here is the bright feet lighted slippers. So these are slippers with fucking headlights in them.
Oh, that's brilliant. Actually, that's necessary.
Why?
Do they turn on when you step like LA lights?
Dude,
You
That
remember
would be
those?
yeah,
Those
I
are the
didn't even
best.
think about that. I think what they've got is
That
you're
would be
supposed
cool.
to switch them on and then you walk around with them on. Right, so they're just that's why I was like, this is kind of dorky because they're just always on,
it's
right?
Super dorky.
But
Yeah.
Twisty says I'd use them.
Yeah, I know you would do it.
They're lighted slippers
Yeah,
that lets you
camping?
see in the dark. They're the perfect
man.
gift for any occasion. See in the dark, feel comfortable, and enjoy the convenience. Step into bright feet slippers, and if it's dark, the powerful LEDs come. Oh, they're light detecting. It says
Wow.
if it's dark, the lights come on.
That's fucking.
That's high
stupid.
tech.
No, fuck that. I don't want like shoes lighting up without me telling it to at any point. I don't want to be walking by my closet for any reason and there to be creepy ass light coming from the bottom of it.
Migress just said my wife called these abominations stylish. Help.
Wow.
Well, you know what you're getting for Christmas. Pickle canes and fucking bright feet.
All right, so we're gonna get into our main story tonight as we have the end of the show coming in a little bit. So Jason and Sweaty, how familiar are you guys with the tales of Atlantis?
Reasonably familiar.
Right.
Yeah, pretty familiar. I know how it happened and shit.
I don't know like all the lore behind it, but I know
Right.
its origins. That.
Right. So you guys are familiar with the whole idea of there was a city, it went away, it's under the ocean.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I remember there were some pretty cool conspiracies when I looked into them like 10 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, supposedly Atlantis was like super high tech and it just like flooded or whatever.
Right. Tonight we're going to take a deep dive into the mysterious theories of Atlantis. All that we know about the legendary island and civilization of Atlantis comes from a few pages in Timaeus and Critias, two of the famous dialogues written by Greek philosopher Plato in the 4th century BC. According to Plato, Atlantis existed 9,000 years before his own time. A great naval power in the ancient world, the utopian island kingdom mysteriously disappeared into the sea over the course of a single day. Over the centuries, countless writers, historians, scientists, and explorers have debated whether Atlantis really existed, and if it did exist, where it might have been. Based on Ayers' Stargate Atlantis, we're not talking about abominations of TV shows. I've never watched it. I'm just But Plato's work didn't surface until 1882 in the book Atlantis, the Antediluvian World. That was the first time anyone ever discovered it, like rediscovered anything about the talking point of Atlantis. The writer Ignatius Donnelly argued the accomplishments of the ancient world, such as metallurgy, language, and agriculture, must have been handed down by an earlier advanced civilization, as the ancients weren't sophisticated enough to develop these advances on their own. Which is a bit of circular dumbassery, in my opinion, right? Just a little bit, right? Because, well, who taught the ancients, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll ignore that, right? And we'll go with what's going on. So the first theory is the most boring of all of the theories, right? Atlantis just it's sunk, and the theory for that is the wherever it was like it was either a floating city or it was some sort of advanced civilization that was in say one of the areas that is now like a sea that wasn't a sea at the time, and that's kind of the normal thing where everybody talks about like nobody knows where it is, and that's the mystery theory. We'll move past that to the number 2 theory that I've found, and that is that Atlantis is in Bermuda, where the Bermuda Triangle area. And Charles Berlitz, the grandson of the founder of the well-known language school, and the author of many books on paranormal phenomena, claimed in the 1970s that Atlantis was a real continent located off the Bahamas that fell victim to the notorious Bermuda Triangle, a region of the Atlantic where a number of ships have supposedly disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Supporters of this theory point to the discovery of what look like man-made walls and streets found off the coast of Bimini. Although scientists have evaluated these structures and have found them to be natural beach rock formations, which this is an actual picture of the formations that were found.
That doesn't look natural to me.
Yeah, I'm a little bit weirded out by that too, right? Just over a decade ago, a team of explorers were working on an exploration and survey mission off the western coast of Cuba when their sonar equipment picked up perplexing series of stone structures 650 meters below the surface. The structures appeared completely analogous against the barren desert of the ocean floor and seemed to symmetrically be organized stones reminiscent of an urban development. The media flurry soon ensued, with news sites reporting headlines like Atlantis discovered in Cuba, Lost City in the Caribbean found. However, the finding also attracted the attention of the government, National Museum, and National Geographic, who all made promises to investigate the images. Now, 10 years later, the story has disappeared into obscurity, and no answers have really come from the sunken ruins of Cuba. And no one knows if they were actually ever truly investigated, according to my 5 hours of research. And the media has fallen, kind of silent on this discovery. The discovery was first made in 2001, and this is one of the 2 things, right? Okay, yes. Upon studying the sonar images, Zelitsky observed what appeared to be unusual rock formations of blocks, crests, geometric shapes. Some of the blocks looked like they were built in pyramid shapes, others were circular. But interesting piece of evidence that I found here that I was unable to come up with any actual explanation for. That is definitely something I advise everyone to take a look at individually. If you can find something that shows that it's garbage, I would love to know. But I looked into it and could not find a explanation other than some people had said that those were natural formations. X-Flight says, why would they build a city underwater?
Amazing.
And to laugh or to cry corrects him. Right. Let's move on to the third theory that I found here. Well, actually, let's get your guys' opinion on the second one. So that imagery there, and just assume this is not me being weird and parody-ish this time. This is some info that I found, and I haven't been able to debunk yet, right? What does that look like to you? Go ahead, Sweaty.
I'm trying to, how far down sea level was it?
650 meters below the surface.
Okay. So what I'm thinking is like that's like an ancient civilization that like the water level rose by then and just completely submerged the city.
Right.
Would be the only logical thing I could think of.
Grizz says it looks like
Other
pyramids.
than that,
Yep, go ahead.
I mean, other than that, I can't really, because that's definitely not natural. That doesn't happen. It's very, very geometric, and that just doesn't happen like that.
Jason, what do you think? What are these? Do these look like they could be natural formations?
Okay, well, and with most conspiracies, these are the kinds of things that I usually I try to do first.
Right.
Number one, I guess my first question would be, is this an actual photo of that, right? Because this could easily be a model.
Correct.
That somebody took a photo of, and then there be actual truth behind some, crazy geographical or like shapes in stone or whatever underwater. You know what I mean? And are these two, are they both the same thing? Is this a photo of those, or is this a photo of something else in order to drive plot?
Right.
That would be good. You know what I mean? So
from what I understand, these are sonar images, right? These are created using sonar, right?
Okay.
Using a digital program that breeds sonar.
Gotcha.
That's what I understand this could be. This also could be a fake, and if someone can find evidence that this is a fake, I would fucking love that, right? Because that would blow theory number 2 completely out of the water, right?
Okay.
But from what I understand, this is the stuff that was published in National Geographic, published in information on like government websites, or not websites, but government publications, right? Let's check in with chat here. Based says it looks unnatural. Resin says there was a ship that was found in 2015 that was carrying a metal that was believed to be orichalcum, I guess, a metal associated with Atlantis. Grizzly says they look like pyramids. Magris asks how far from the coast it is. Let's see. Off the western coast of Cuba, 650. It doesn't say how far. Squabbly says looks like a video game. Yeah, I mean it's a digital readout, right? Yeah. Till After Cry says nature doesn't build in straight lines. Curry asks, what's a possible timeline on Atlantis? So Plato places it at 9,000 years before his time. So around 10,000, around 10,500, something like that. Not Horatio says landing strips for UFOs. Let's see. Margaret says maybe a set of structures on a sheetrock that rested on a bunch of comparatively loose soil, and a severe earthquake happened to liquefacted the soil underneath and sent the entire fucking sheet of rock, including the structures on top. I mean, that is very possible.
Yeah, that's very. Yeah.
They've one of the craziest things I've ever seen is when liquefaction happens with a giant sinkhole, like what happens in Russia all the time with like what are those like 70, 80 foot wide sinkholes, and the whole buildings are now like hundreds of feet below the surface. And like the building doesn't even like get fucked up because it goes slowly down. Not Horatio says in exchange for $725 million, National Geographic Society passed the Troubled magazine and its book, map, and other media assets to a partnership handed by 21st Century Fox. Fox News is covering this up.
Shocking.
I don't know. I'm looking at this right now. Hey, what up, not Horatio? Not Horatio. I'm looking at this. I don't see any evidence that National Geographic ever covered this, actually.
Oh, that's what okay. Weird. The new National Geographic was from what I saw, it was stated that when I was researching this, that they were part of the group that was looking into it. Right.
I'm trying to find that. I can't find anything on it. I'll keep looking at it.
Yep. All right. Well, then we'll move on from this a little bit and go to the next theory that Atlantis is in Antarctica. And this one's a little bit more wild.
I like that one.
Yeah. Another theory that Atlantis was actually much more of a temperate version of what is now Antarctica. So if the timeline of everything that was sitting around, right? Charles Hapgood in 1958, who made the Earth's shifting crust, which featured a foreword by Albert Einstein. According to Hapgood, around 12,000 years ago, the Earth's crust shifted, displacing the continent that became Antarctica from a location much further north than it is today. This more temperate continent was home to an advanced civilization, and that the sudden shift to its frigid current location doomed the civilization's inhabitants, the Atlanteans, and their magnificent city that was buried underneath the ice. That theory surfaced before the scientific world gained a full understanding of plate tectonics, which largely relegated his shifting crust idea to the fringes of Atlantean beliefs. But scientists have discovered a series of gigantic structures buried beneath the Antarctic ice caps. So the mysterious land masses are frozen beneath. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of neat.
But that's where Superman's ship is.
Right, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Captain America's down there somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The fortress of Damassitude.
Love it.
These mysterious land masses frozen beneath the surface of the ice are about a half a mile deep, right? Some of them are so massive that they are comparable in height to the Eiffel Tower. The discovery is by speculation of let's see, the scientists who what's that?
That's crazy. That's pretty big.
Right. The team from University Libre del Bruxelles in Belgium said that the structures were evidence of water conduits and sediment ridges below the Antarctic ice sheet. But essentially this means that there are a large network of tunnels and ridges frozen underneath the ice. It's believed that these natural formations contribute to the stability of the ice cap, and that gigantic land masses carve deep incursions into the bottom of the ice, creating scars, right?
Oh, shit.
Right. But it's either that or Atlantis. I mean, there's only two
Right, it's
real
one of
things
the
here.
two. Yeah.
What if there's just like giant rocks like frozen down there? Couldn't that be what it's picking up?
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Those would be massive, right?
Well, they could be mountains, right? Small mountains.
Yeah.
Protected and permanently from erosion. Yeah,
Exactly.
mountains, right? Like,
Yeah.
Or Atlantis. Really, it's just two things, guys, right? It's either underground mountains, which how can you be a mountain without being in the sky? Or
This is how you get aliens versus predator, everybody.
Right.
exactly. It could be the evil thing that Buzz Aldrin tweeted about when the world leaders went there a few years ago, and he had to be medically evacuated. And where is he now? Well,
Right?
I suppose
Dead.
that is very possible. Rip Buzz Aldrin. Or the final theory that I've got for you guys tonight is that Atlantis only went under the sea in order to prepare for launch. This would actually harken back to a little bit of the ancient aliens theories, where the advanced civilizations that a lot of people talk about existing before, or a human civilization, were aliens who came here to either create us from monkeys or just seed us here or whatever. And so when they got done, right, they could totally disappear and be gone in a whole day, right, as they took off into the sky. And instead of actually being covered by water, the takeoff shed enough water into the air that they looked like they were covered. And then they activated their cloaking devices, and the ancient history people couldn't see anything.
That's
True.
amazing.
Right?
That's true.
I hope that's the case.
Right. All right. So that's our small presentation on Atlantis today. Just showing you guys a couple of the theories of Atlantis, because it's not really anything that we can prove because it was all one man's say-so, discovered hundreds of years after he died, about an event that happened 9,000 years before he was alive. So, oh, Plato, you're making us spend a bunch of time talking about you.
Right?
X-Flight says that the alien spaceship is the best theory. Can't claim Cam Cake says that there might be large ice dildos underneath Antarctica. JMG 2014 says Stargate Atlantis was right. But yeah, Clam Cake says prove it, Skep. Well, I mean, it's not my job to prove anything. It's only to make you think about it, and then you can make your decision for yourself.
That is such a cop-out.
Exactly. Yeah. Fuck you, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing.
But yeah, so that is our show for tonight. It's 9:06. We're getting to the point of where the end of the show is supposed to happen. So thanks everybody for joining us. It's been a fantastic show. Sweaty, thank you very much for coming on. It's been another pleasure having you here.
Man,
Absolutely.
It's always a pleasure. It's always fun.
Awesome. I'll make sure to give you more heads up next time. But
no, dude, it's no problem. I promise.
Join us Thursday for our next episode. I've got a couple of ideas about how involving some creatures you guys have probably not heard of. Some of you have definitely heard of them, but the theory on what they are going to amaze you. And then Friday, join me for the first episode of Skeptalk Late.
I will be there.
Excellent, Jason. Thank you very much.
Sounds hot.
It's gonna be awesome.
It sounds amazing.
I'd like to thank everybody for
Thanks,
showing up. It's been great. So let me find us somebody to raid. I'm hoping we don't whiff out again. Last time was pretty bad. No, last time was Joe. Joe was fine. He's at 154 viewers now, dude.
Dude, I told you. Okay, so anybody who missed it last night, a friend of the show, Joe the Burly Gamer, got hosted by Shroud. It was just fucking crazy. Twisty and I were watching it. It was the coolest thing I've seen on Twitch, I think, ever.
You guys want to go see him?
Yeah.
All right, dude, let's do that.
Go kick it.
All right. Let me get back to the chat here. It's taking a minute. Ugh. God, why
I
is
love
this
that I'm
taking
supposed
so
to be
long?
like studying right now, but I'm fucking Googling Cuban underwater pyramids.
hey, it's
That's
studying,
a reasonable
right?
tangent.
Yeah, exactly.
That's reasonable.
If I could just like weave this into my managing technology class.
Nah, dude,
That's
if you don't know the answer to a question, just go on this tangent of
Yeah, right. But did you know?
All right, remember to ask Joe about Atlantis and his theories, and congratulate him on the Shroud host. And once again, Sweaty, thank you very much. Once again, Jason, thank you very much. I fucking love doing
Absolutely.
this show.
my pleasure.
Episode
It's amazing.
52.
It's always amazing.
All right, raid is off. Let me hit the stop stream button.